Audiolithic Mac got the info. Audiolithic Mac got the info.
What's good, everyone? Audiolithic Mac, and I'm back with another video. Now, in this video right here, I'm going to show everyone how I got this actually set up, right? This one rack I have here, as you can see, I have a preamp right here, the black box, and the Burl converter, the Solaris, and I have two EQs. I moved that compressor. It was just dulling my sound a little bit. That's one thing about compressors that you really need to be careful of, right? And the Neve, I mean, they got good stuff. A lot of that Neve stuff is actually good for just one instrument, right? It's not too hot, much of a good thing to use on an entire mix ensemble, right? Because I got stuff coming straight out the Roland Phantom X, and it kind of dulls a 2-track a little bit. So I took it out and I added this Alesis X filter here. I mean, this X filter, it's an amazing sounding piece. I'm telling you. For some reason, this X filter it'll literally make. And I'm just going to be honest. I've heard older sounding MPCs, the MPC 3000s and all that. And for some reason, right, when I run the X6 into this, it can just fattens the sound up. And I don't know what's it doing, because it's a solid state unit, right? But for some reason, the sound just sounds just a little bit wider and just a little more punchier for some reason. But big ups to Alesis, man. I mean, this is top-notch product, man. And I'm really starting to think about buying some more Alesis type stuff, right? You know, because I'm impressed by this X filter right here. I'm not going to lie. I'm impressed by the sound of this thing. But now we have this Solaris, which is a D to A converter, right? So basically what I got here is I have an A to D and a D to A. Now there's a couple of ways where you can hook this up, right? But for this, I have an A to D and a D to A connected via an AES cable, right? An AES cable is a digital cable, right? Where you can connect digital gear, you know, from the IO. Basically, it's digital IO, the same similar function as a what they call it, the ADAT, an ADAT in and out, or a SPDIF in and out. But it's an AES. An AES cable is built the same way as a XLR cable, but the only difference is it's a digital XLR and not an analog XLR. So for those who want to know the difference, so I know some people, they may look at it and see, well, it looks like the same cable, but nah. A good way to understand the difference or see the difference is that an AES cable is thinner, right? The actual gauge of the wire is thinner, right, than a basic XLR cable. Now, if I get a chance, I'm going to see if I can find one. I don't think I have an extra one laying around, because once you get an AES cable is not like a XLR cable. You can have XLR cables all over the place, but AES cables are kind of pricey. So when you buy one, you intend to use it. Do you understand? That's not a cable you just got laying around, right? When you get an AES cable, you intend to use that cable, because those things can get rather pricey. I mean, like $200 range for one cable. So yeah, that's nothing you're going to have just laying around, but I digress. But so you have the Burl right here, and you have the D to A Solaris, right? So I have the Burl connected to the Solaris. Now, the key with these D to A converters, right? You can have sound coming from four spots, right? Left and right. You have the monitor and the stereo left and right output. Now, the stereo left and right goes back into to this, right? The links, right? And then you will have another monitor left and right that will go to your speakers. So that's how the initial setup is, right? And of course you have headphones where you can listen to the sound via the headphones. Now, I don't have any speakers hooked up, right? Because as you can see, I don't have a treated room. And that's another thing that you must learn when it comes to a studio. If you don't have a treated room, you need headphones. So I use headphones for my mixes, right? I use headphones. Now, when you get a treated room, then that's when you start buying all the high-end speakers and all that. But it makes no sense at all to buy all those speakers and your room is not treated. So my room is not treated. I was going to plan on later on getting curtains. Now, if you don't have the padding and all that, you can use curtains, right? You can get you I have a curtain liner for the mic booth, right? I have a mic booth in a whole nother room. So you can get curtains to put over your walls, right? Just put curtains all over your walls, all the way around your walls, and put a carpet underneath, and that setup can suppress the ambiance in that room, right? It can suppress the ambiance and give you a more closed texture of sound where when you record vocals, you won't have that ambiance, leaking in to your microphone, if you understand. So that's an option for you where you don't have to spend a lot of money for sound treatment. Just get curtains and just put curtains over around your walls. And that's a good way to suppress that ambiance and that reverb that occurs naturally in an untreated room. So basically I think that's about it, right? So, and another thing you must consider, right, with analog, you don't want to have a lot of color going through your mixes. You see these guys got stuff, on top of this and top of that. You got 10 different units connected to one another, all of them adding color to your mix. You really don't want that. You don't want to have a lot of color on your mix, right? You just want to have maybe one or two things. You want to have a tube for one. Then you want to have a transformer in and out. And then you want to have solid state, such as this, right? So you want to have a good equal balance when it comes to color, right, and clarity. You want a good equal balance, right? And that's why I maintain this little setup here for a 2-track setup, and I can separate, 1 and 2, left and right. And that's why I maintain this setup here. I think it's a pretty decent setup, right? In a good way where you can copy this setup and add it to your own studio and just try it and see how it works for you, right? Well, that's all for today. I'll be back tomorrow with another video, Audiolithic Mac. Take care and be blessed.